Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ahmad Wafi, and the topic that I would bring up in this video is the journey of Rupiah exchange rate throughout history. So, as we know, Indonesia uses Rupiah currency as a legitimate payment tool. And initially, Rupiah exchange rate against US dollar wasn't like what it is today. According to University of British Columbia, in 1967, the rupiah exchange rate was in the range of 149 rupiah per US dollar. But if you look at the graphic right here, right now, the exchange rate of uh, rupiah movement has blown up really high. And it looks like it's having some sort of, roller coaster moment throughout its movement. So from 149 per US dollar in 1967 to almost 15,000 per US dollar in the year of 2022. So how did all this happen? It can be seen here in the graphical data provided that from the year 1996 to 2022, the movement of rupiah exchange rate began with a massive spike in the year of 1998. Then in the early 21st century, the Rupiah movement experienced stability, right? Even though there were still small spikes like in the year 2001 and 2008. After that, starting from 2013 until right now, the movement of Rupiah kept going up. Therefore, right here, we're going to discuss a little bit of what's really going on with our currency from year to year. And our main concern here are the events that occur in those spikes from the graphic. So we are starting off with the first spike, the monetary crisis, 1998. So the 1998 crisis started with a currency crisis or economy crisis in several Asian countries. Then this crisis spread to Indonesia and quickly rocked the national economy. Rupiah exchange rate back then had fallen by 185% from 5,400 per US dollar at the end of 1997, falling to 15,000 almost, yeah, to fall to 13,000 per US dollar on January 1998. Then rupiah uh, kept kept declining, and finally it touched the weakest point at almost at 16,800 rupiah per US dollar in the year of 1998 on June. So after this, Indonesia was slowly able to escape the crisis and the rupiah exchange rate was also improving. But then severe fluctuation occurred during the 2008 global financial crisis. We can see here the graphic we can see here in the graphic, it appears that rupiah exchange rate fluctuates the US dollar in the fourth quarter. So it's in right here, which was previously in the range of 9,000 per US dollar to fall to almost above 12,000 uh, rupiah per US dollar. After the 2008 crisis, the taper tantrum event occurred in 2013. So taper tantrum here is basically a term used by economy media to describe the surge that happened in US securities in 2013. The fact is that rupiah, which was back then under 10,000 per US dollar, plummeted to the level of 12,000 per US dollar in 2013, and then it approached the level of 14,000 in the year of 2015. After the after the 28 crisis, the Fed on June 2018, the U.S. Central Bank Federal Reserve raised the Fed funds rate or FFR. This impact on Rupiah and Rupiah seem so in on June 2018, the Federal Reserve raised the Fed funds rate, right? So Rupiah remained helpless and finally breaking the level of 15,000 per US dollar on October 2018, the weakest point at that moment. And then on November, Rupiah exchange rate was fallen. It means that Rupiah was getting stronger. But then on December, Rupiah kept after got strengthened by November. It's not long lasting because on December, Rupiah keep depreciate. We're next to the COVID-19 pandemic in 2020. So, since 2015 on taper tantrum, Rupiah exchange rate has been never again on under 10,000 Rupiah per US dollar. In fact, during the early pandemic disease on March 2022, 2020, the exchange rate of one US dollar against Rupiah was 14,485 Rupiah per US dollar. And then it fluctuates really high until it breaking the level around 16,000 per US dollar. So, but after that, it's declining, right? It's declining until it touch August 2020. So there were the events and the conclusion of, the from the data that has been presented right here, we're gonna take a conclusion that the exchange rate of rupiah during the year of 1996 to 2022, the trend is depreciating, right? The trend is depreciation. During this period, the main cause of the weakening rupiah exchange rate were the crises that happened in global scale, but its impact on Indonesia national economy. So the long journey of rupiah right here must be a lesson for us that we have to more introspective and more sensitive to the economy crisis in the future so that rupiah would never stuck again in the weakest point through history. That's it for me. Thank you.